Hey, beautiful souls, welcome back to an episode of Midlife Reset and Rise. I'm your host, Coach Sabrina Woods. This episode is going to sting a little because today we're talking about something we don't always want to admit, and that is that not everyone deserves a spot in your life. Not everyone who claps for you is actually cheering for you. And not everyone who smiles is safe. Let's talk about recognizing fake support, choosing real connections, and why your inner circle in midlife doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be true. So let's talk about why losing friendship hurts so much in midlife. It could be because we've known people for decades and it's hard to accept that we've outgrown them. We're going to unpack the guilt that we carry when we start to choose peace over proximity. And the truth of it, loneliness doesn't always mean you're alone. It often means you're healing. I have 3 real friends, and that's it. And I used to think something was wrong with me until I realized I was done performing. People say they support you, but they disappear when your glow grows. So now I keep my peace, I keep my distance, not from love, but from draining energy. So let's talk about some of the red flags that we ignore. People only show up when they need something. You ever had that friend that won't call you until they need something? You can also have friends right now who gossip about others with you. Have you ever thought that maybe they were likely doing it about you too? Let's talk about that friend who constantly compares theirself to you. Their subtle jabs or the one-upping when you share your win. You can also have friends who vanish when you stop playing small. So let's call it out. Friendship without respect is not loyalty, it's convenience. I want you to ask yourself, who makes you feel safe to fully be you? Who celebrates your growth, not just your pain? Who have you kept around without guilt or history? What kind of friendships do you crave in this chapter of your life? And what qualities do you offer as a friend today? I'm going to give you some homework. Choose one friendship that needs to be redefined and write down what boundaries, if you need distance or healing, that particular friendship needs. You see, nothing hurts me more when I recognize that a friend who wants me to show up for them cannot show up for me when I start having wins. Let's be real. That hurts. It hurts. And that's why I say I'm choosing to not drain my energy. I'm not going to build friendships with people no longer who don't respect me or even show up for me as I show up for them. You see, if you were ever my friend and I just totally stop talking to you and I don't check in on you, have you ever asked yourself, do you check in on me? You see, friendships goes both ways. You can't call someone your friend, but when they're growing and start making these moves, you don't want to support. Most people only want to support you when you're broken, when you're in that I don't know what I need to do phase. But when we start working on ourselves and we start growing, we start recognizing our values. And if friendship, an authentic friendship is what we value, we start looking for red flags in people. It becomes a part of us, and we can recognize when people are not truly our friends. And that comes to the point to where we have to decide if we're going to keep that friend in our life. What category are we going to put them in? Are they the root? The root friendships. Friends show up. A true, authentic friend is going to cheer for you when you're growing, and they're going to tell you the truth when you're not facing reality, when they hear you speaking limited beliefs. Let's say this, you have two friends. Both are negative in mindset. They're going to call each other up every day on the phone, and they're going to talk about nothing but negative things. They're going to talk about the lady that they see across the street that has 5 kids. All they do is judge each other and everyone else. That's not a friendship. That is two individuals that are stuck in the negative. They can't find positive in anything. Some of us don't want to associate with people who are negative. We know that negativity will hinder us. I choose to focus my energy into building authentic relationships with people who show up for me every day without conditions. You see, I've never been that fake, phony friend. If you're doing something and coming to me, you're making all these choices. You come to me for advice, to be your sounding board, or to just sit and be present with you. The truth is, I'm not going to hide or ignore self-accountability. I'm going to ask you, what part are you playing in this? How can you change this? How can you approach your husband in a way that brings solution? Blame gets us nothing. So if we're constantly blaming others and we're not taking accountability, a true friend is going to tell you, hey, hold up, wait a second, hon. I understand what you're saying. I validate your feelings. You're allowed to have them. I understand. But I have a question. What part do you play? Do you hear that limited belief? What is the truth? You see, we can't coddle the people in our life. They won't grow. We have to push them to be great. And that starts with having a friend that's going to be great for you. Not be the friend you want, but be the friend that you need. So I want you today to choose one friendship that needs redefining. Write down what you love about the friendship, what you don't like about the friendship, and then build boundaries in. Have those deep conversations with your friend. Your real friend is gonna love you no matter what. They're going to hold your hand until you believe in yourself. They're not going to coddle the bullcrap that you keep wanting to live in. But see, that's the friend I used to push away. The friend that used to tell me, hey, wait a minute, what's your part? What can you do to make this better? I did not want to be around those people. I did not want anyone to call me out on my bullcrap because I was so comfortable living in it. Ladies, we don't have to shrink to fit into places we've outgrown. If you've outgrown negativity and you really just want to work on yourself and build the people up in your life because you're just tired of you're tired of just surviving. You gotta uplift our friends, not coddle them, not sugarcoat it. I want to leave you with some incantations, and I want you to say these with energy every day. If you're working on building your friendships, if you're in that part of midlife where you realize you don't have many real friends, you really want to build those relationships, then you need to believe it. You need to say incantations to yourself. First incantation, I just said it a couple seconds ago. I don't shrink to fit into places I've outgrown. Ladies, when you say this incantation, I want you to say it in your fighting stance, chest out, take a deep breath, and I want you to roar. I attract connections that match my peace, not pain and chaos. All right, let's go with the next one. I release fake support and I call in real soul aligned friendship. That means friends that's going to stand with us in our bull crap, tell us about ourselves, and help us fix it. The next one, I don't need a crowd, I just need truth. You see, that's where I am today. I don't want a crowd of people around me who's just going to judge me, drop their bullcrap on me all day long, call me just to be negative. You see, we lift each other up. And if that's what you value in a friendship, then that's what we must go after. We got to align our friendships with who we truly are. Stop ignoring those red flags. Don't be afraid to say no. No is a complete sentence. We can say it without guilt. And trust me, in my teenage years, I could not take the word no. If my parents told me no, if anyone told me no, I threw a fit. I got in my emotions. I could not handle truth. That's what we're searching for today, ladies. Truth. Truth about ourselves and truth about the people around us. And we gotta stop ignoring those red flags. So, each episode, I talk about journaling, guided journaling. I say this because if you're not ready to have a deep conversation and admit your shortcomings, your downfalls with another person, you have to start somewhere. So start with yourself. Freestyle journaling is awesome for dumping our thoughts on the paper. But guided journaling, it takes us within our own mind, and I will never not believe this. The best breakthrough moments I ever had was when I got real and honest and had those deep conversations with myself. I invite you to start there. If you've always been to where you're afraid to open up, you don't want to admit your truth to yourself. That's the only person that you have to worry about is you. You don't have to worry about anyone else's truth. Your truth is what's going to set you free. So I asked you, use this journaling prop. Grab your pen, grab your paper, get your app note out. Number 1, who am I still holding space for that has not earned it? Number 2, what would a healthy, soul-filling friendship look like for me now? Be honest. What do you value in a friend? What are you not willing to put up with in a friend in your next chapter? And what is the hardest truth that you've ever had to accept about someone you trusted. People will let us down. We gotta understand the truth that we accepted about someone else that hurt us. It's being honest with ourselves. If we can't be honest with ourselves, how are we going to be honest in a friendship when our friend is coming to us with real advice, life on life terms, and we're coddling their feelings instead of being honest and saying, hey, look, wait a minute, your feelings are validated, but what part do you play in this? What could you have done better? What do you want to do correctly next time? We got to be able to lift our friends up and sit with them in their truth. No judgment. So, if you've been feeling like the problem, maybe you've just surrounded by people who don't value healing. I'm going to say that again. If you look around at your circle and you feel out of place, odd, like you just don't fit there no more, maybe you're just surrounded by people who don't value healing. This season, we're walking into midlife. We're not here to people please. We're here to rise. And sometimes that happens in quiet rooms with smaller circles and stronger boundaries. Not everyone deserves a seat, but you deserve a throne. And I'll keep showing up in this podcast to remind you, you don't have to keep making space for those who drain you. Well, until next time, this is Reset and Rise, where we grow, grieve, and glow together.